to be a little bit different than my normal week-to-week cash stuffings because I have a story time for you telling you all how I got into $40,000 worth of credit card debt, tell you the 4 main ways to get out of credit card debt, and then also share with you the way that I got out of credit card debt and that whole process. So if you are interested in my story time that could possibly help you in your situation, go ahead and stay tuned, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below. Are you in credit card debt? If you are currently credit card debt free, I would love to hear about how you achieve that goal, and some of our other friends in the community probably would like to read about it as well. So leave that down below in the comments. If you are a returning viewer, I hope that you will consider subscribing, and thank you to all of my subbies who are back for another video, and let's get started. So I am going to put here on the screen the timestamp of me taking you guys to that story time. If you just can't wait to hear about it and you want to jump to that portion of the video, I'll have the timestamp here. I will also have it in the description box. But don't forget to come back and walk through the budget with your girl if you skip around to that portion of the video. So getting into the budget for this week, guys, I can honestly say I think that this spread is my favorite month of the year so far. And I've had some pretty darn cute spreads, y'all know. But this spread is just, I am loving all of the blue. Like, it's just so pretty to me. So today is the 5th. Happy belated 4th of July. Hopefully you guys had a great holiday. What took place for me this week is it is the beginning of the month, so I had to do rent, utilities, Netflix, dental, and vision insurance. Going into next week, it is a little bit busy for me. So I have a business bill due. Again, it's probably coming out on Monday because I don't think they took it out today. But that's going to come out of my business account. For my personal budget, I have my cell phone bill due, and then that's it. The next week, I don't have many bills due, but then this final week of the month, I am going to be hit pretty heavy with bills, as you can see. I am actually going out of town on Sunday, so I will grocery shop. I don't know if I'm going to grocery shop tomorrow or when I come back, but we'll make sure to take care of that. I will be back on Tuesday. I'm going to spend some time with my grandmother, so I'm super excited about that. New things in the shop. So as you can see, I have now made Bible study stickers. These stickers will be available on the 19th with the September budget kits, along with, I will have 2 more icon sticker sheets along with the Bible study stickers that will be available on the 19th with the September budget kits. Our August designs are available in the shop in the fruit theme and in the books theme for Erin Condren and Happy Planner. I have been consistently getting questions about the Budget Mom, and so I just want to make sure I remember to state it in the videos. The Budget Mom stickers are coming for 2025. So her new planner comes out in October. That'll give me about a month to make some stickers and get that template for her planner, and then they will be available for January of 2025. Grab bags will also be available this Saturday, from Saturday until next week Wednesday. I'm gonna put it all over the socials, and it's also on the website. I'm also gonna send out an email so you guys don't forget about it if you want to pick one up. So I did not have any no spend days this week. I spent money every day of the week. I also do not have any coffee days this week. So you guys, I found a new coffee. Okay, I totally can't remember the name right now. So hopefully when I'm editing the video, I'll remember to go look at it and put it on the screen. But it's an Arabic coffee, if I'm not mistaken. It's 100% Arabic. I love it. It's strong. So I have had no outside coffee days this week. And I've, just do my 1 little cup a day. It's been wonderful. So I hope that I can remember to put the name of it on the screen for you guys if you want to try it out. I got it from HEB. Probably get it from your local grocery store. So moving on to the next pages. So I set up everything in my July budget with me, which is up on the channel. I'm still working on my to-do list, so that's a work in progress throughout this whole month. I am beginning to work on our saving challenges for next year in this month, so that's a thing. So far for this month, our Netflix bill, we budgeted $17 and it came in at $16.77. I always round my bills up $1 so that I always have enough to cover it, and then leftover change just accumulates into a little buffer amount in my checking account. And then my dental and vision bill, I saved $30 or budgeted $30, and that came out to $29.97. Okay, so moving on to paycheck one, let's go ahead and fill in our amounts here so we know what we actually spent this week. So for bills, the estimated amount was $47, but we ended up spending $16.77 plus $29.97, so we spent $46.74 for bills. For cash envelopes, I spent everything but $5. So I budgeted $168, but actually spent $163. And my sinking funds came out even, so did the saving challenges. Nothing extra came up this week that I can recall, and nothing unbudgeted came up this week. So
46.74 plus 163 plus 72 plus 56
is $347.74 is what I actually spent this week for bills, personal bills, and variable spending. So $347.74, $347.74. 353 minus 347.74 is $5.26. So $5.26 is what we save. So this must be the 26 cents, and this is the $5. And so we are in the green, $5.26 this week. Moving on to paycheck two. So the personal bill that I have for this week will be my cell phone bill, and I'm going to budget $82 for that. That is due on the 8th. So the due date is 7/8. The cash envelopes are going to get $160, sinking funds $72, saving challenges, I'm putting in $19, but $5 is from the rollover money. So from the paycheck, I'm taking out $14, and nothing extra this week, nothing unbudgeted. I made a mistake with the saving challenges, so I'm putting in a total of $12 in my saving challenges today. 5 is from rollover, so that leaves only 7 that I took out from the bank. So this should total to $321 that I took out.
82, 160, 72, and 7.
Yes. So $321 is the cash that I took out of the bank or out of my check for this week for these expenses. So we are budgeting $321 this week. So moving on to our weekly check-in, my paycheck one for July went from June 28th to July 4th. So once again, I spent everything minus $5 in eating out. So I spent 20, nothing, and then I spent that 8 with the rollover 10 from the previous week. So I'm gonna have to go to my monthly budget sheet to get the numbers that I have remaining for the month. For spending, I budgeted $125 for this month. I spent 10, so that leaves me with $115. For gas, I budgeted $250. I spent $45, so that leaves me $205. For groceries, I budgeted $350 and I spent $70, so that gives me $280. For home, I budgeted $100, I spent $10, so that gives me $90. Eating out, I budget $150 for the month, I spent $20, so that's $130. Medicine, I still have $40 for the month. And then beauty, so sorry about that, guys. I budgeted $60, I spent $8, so I have $52 left. For this upcoming week, which will go from today until the 11th, spending is gonna get $10, gas is going to get $45, groceries will get $70, home will get $10, eating out will get $25, and then I don't need any medicine this week or anything beauty related. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my expense tracker for this week, this past week, and I'm going to speed through the writing. Once I finish with this, we'll be done with the personal budget for this week. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is go through, especially if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'm gonna go through and put my remaining balance over here for all of my categories. And if I pulled from a category twice, I just put it on the last line. I'm highlighting in green, which means I'm still in budget. If I come out of budget or go over budget, I will highlight in pink, which is my red. So for spending, I have $115 left for the month. For gas, we have $205. For groceries, we have $280. For home, we have $90. For beauty, we have $52. And then for eating out, we have $130. So that is it for the paycheck budget portion of this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Next, we're gonna go ahead and get into the cash stuffing. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull out the $5 that I have remaining from eating out, because we're going to add that to the saving challenges. So the rest of my envelopes are blank, and I do have some receipts that I'm going to scan into Fetch Rewards, which is an app to scan receipts, gain points, trade those points in for gift cards. I've used several times for Amazon, hotel stays, the whole nine. I'm going to put my coins in the coin box, and then these are my cards. So let's get started with spending. So spending is going to get $10. Gas is going to get $45, so 20, 40, and a 5. And again, we are starting the week out with a full tank, beyond a full tank. Groceries will get 70. Home will get 10. I don't really think I need anything for home, but we'll see. Eating out will get 25. And then meds and beauty will not get anything. So that is it for the wallet. Okay, so for our saving challenge card, we are in July. And today we're going to do the 6 and the 2. So take these off. The 6, the 2. So I'm going to go 5, 6, and then 1 and 2. It's getting kind of stuffy in here. For the rose gold binder, we're going to stuff the 4 in July. So guys, y'all know it was a rent week this week, so we're gonna start out low. So I have my blue here, which is a wet erase marker, which is what I recommend for laminated products. So I will just bubble in the 4. I'm gonna leave this card out so that it can fully dry. And I'm gonna flip over here to the July envelope, which is right here. I'm gonna put these $4 in here. And now we are done with our 2 saving challenges. Next up, I have my cell phone bill, which I am budgeting $82 for as of right now. So we will flip to phone, and I'm going to go ahead and add the amount. So today is the 5th. I'm adding 82 to the phone bill. So 49577 plus 82 is 577.77. So that means my phone bill costs about $1,000 a month. So I'm gonna go 50, 70, 80, 1, and 2, and do a cash transfer and put this money in my bills account. And that is it for the bills binder. Now we will move on to the sinking funds, and this is the portion of the video where I'm going to get into the $40,000 worth of credit card debt story. So just as a minor disclaimer here, this is a no judgment, no criticizing zone. Everything that I'm getting ready to tell you guys has already happened in my life. So this is not a situation I'm currently in that I'm needing some advice or suggestions to get out of. I am no longer in this situation. It is a part of my past, but I am sharing it here on the channel to let you guys know what happened to me and to also maybe help somebody else. But just putting that out there that this situation is long gone for me. So it is not a current situation. So let's get started with how I got into $40,000 of credit card debt. To make a long story very short, I will just say that I got into credit card debt because I purchased an in-home tutoring franchise business back in 2017. So this was a business where if it would have taken off and been successful, I would have been able to run this business from home, work from home. I was currently a teacher at that time, and so I was looking for ways to replace my salary and hopefully one day leave the teaching profession. And so, yeah, I purchased a franchise. So how I even got approved for all that money, and this was all on credit cards. Crazy. This was all on credit cards, but there was a third-party company that to this day, I don't even remember their name, which is probably a good thing because I don't recommend anybody to do what I did. But it was a third-party company that applied for credit cards, and I'm sure they apply for loans too on your behalf. So it'll be in your name and everything. It just eliminates the work of you having to go and apply for all these different credit cards. So Wardrobe has 20, 40, 45, 50, 55. So the company applied on my behalf. I had a total of 11 credit cards, which totaled out to right at $40,000 worth of credit card debt. So I used the 40 grand for my startup costs, for franchise fees, materials. I had to buy a computer, I bought a business phone. So all the things that you essentially need to start a business is what I use the money for. So April and May has 5, 10, 15, and 20. I still had a full-time job at this point in my life. So I was running my small business and I was working full-time as a teacher. It was extremely difficult. It was an extremely difficult time in my life doing both of those things. And basically working was just very hard. And I ended up having the business for about 1.5 years until it closed. So outings is gonna get a 5. Before the business closed, it was making money. I had a total of 5 employees throughout the 1.5 years that I owned the business, 5 tutors, should I say. 4 out of the 5 tutors were amazing. So it was stressful, but also a privilege to be able to work with some up and coming educators. So outings has 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So the business was making enough money at the time for me to pay the tutors, for me to pay my franchise fees, because you have to pay franchise fees to the company, for me to also be able to pay my credit card payments. So the 11 credit cards that I had, they all had, minimum payments. So it made enough money for that. I didn't really profit much, but the business was sustaining. So car maintenance is going to get 20. Once the business closed, this left me with all the bills to pay, all of my personal bills. I was living on my own at the time, as well as now these credit card payments. And I was having to pay all of that from my teacher salary. So car maintenance has 100, 150, 170, 190, 210, 220. So of course I no longer had to pay my tutors. I no longer, they didn't work for me anymore. I no longer had to pay like franchise fees, but I was still left with the 40 grand of credit card debt. So once I closed the business, because it was just so hard to maintain while having a full-time job and it wasn't making enough for me to profit, I was left with, like I said, all the finances. I started financially drowning. I needed to do something fast. I needed to come out of this situation. So I did work some side hustles, including Lyft, Postmates, which is a food delivery service. So I drove for Lyft, I drove for Postmates. I still continue to do some individual tutoring, no longer with the company, but just, kids that I knew. One of my tutees was a church member of mine, and then I had just kind of sent out some postcards in my neighborhood and got a couple hits on that. And so I still did individual tutoring. I worked extra hours at my job and got paid for extra hours there. I worked summer school. So I was doing everything that I could to make some more money to help me start paying off some of this debt. So gifts is getting $2. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And all of that to say, with all the extra hard work I was trying to do, I still needed help. So before I get into exactly what I did to come out of $40,000 worth of credit card debt, I want to just briefly tell you guys about like the 4 main ways to come out of credit card debt, which I'm sure we are all familiar with. So the first main way to come out of credit card debt is to pay each of your lenders or creditors on your own. Pay each card individually plus whatever interest is getting taxed onto the debt. The second way to get out of credit card debt is to do a debt consolidation loan. So like me, I had 11 credit cards. So I could have gone with a debt consolidation loan company. They would have combined all of my debts together, paid it all off, and then I would have owed on the loan to that company. And then that would reduce my payments from having to pay 11 different credit cards a month to just paying one time to the debt consolidation loan company. The third way to come out of debt is to go through a debt settlement program. And the fourth way to come out of debt is, of course, bankruptcy. I did put these in order, in my opinion, from the best option to the worst option. So the option that I chose out of those 4 to help me come out of debt is I went through a debt settlement program. So I chose a debt settlement program, and I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about the cons of a debt settlement program and the pros of a debt settlement program. I'm starting with the cons because although I went this route, I don't recommend it. I honestly recommend trying to pay your debt off fully, what you owe, plus the interest, working extra jobs and side hustles and things like that, I recommend doing that first. That's just the right way to do it. Also wanted to mention that at this time in my life, this was before my YouTube days, before the shops. This was before all of that. So my godchildren have 100, 120, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 134. So let's talk about the cons of a debt settlement program. The first con for me for using a debt settlement program is spiritual reasons. So I just feel like it is extremely unfortunate that we live in a society that is heavily reliant on debts. Like, we have to get into debt to get a house. We have to get into debt to get a car. We have to get into debt just to try to better our lives and go to college and get an education. I think it's so unfortunate that a country that is founded on the principles of God also runs off of debt. And while I'm at it, guys, I'm going to go ahead and remove this sticker off my envelope because I want to change this envelope to date nights instead of savings. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel this up. I have my sheet here with my cash envelope labels, so I'm going to just go ahead and roll that back. I like to take it from the center. I'm going to go ahead and just lay it down right here in the corner. And then let's get this title changed. So yeah, so my first con for a debt settlement program is for spiritual reasons. So I am a child of God. I'm a Christ follower, a believer of Jesus Christ. And the Bible specifically is against us being in debt. Like, that's just the bottom line. I don't have to go into a sermon about it. There's plenty of scriptures that you can check out for yourself that aligns to what I'm saying. So being in debt is not a principle of God. So, and if we are to get into debt, which, listen, I throw no stones, okay? I'm still in debt, student loan debt. So no stones are being thrown over here. This is the way that evil people set up our society in this nation. However, if you do have to get into debt, the Bible also talks about us paying back our lenders, paying back what we owe. So debt settlement prevents you from paying back everything that you owe to your lenders. So let's just say that there was a lot of repenting and asking God to forgive me for my foolish decisions and getting myself involved in this debt that I could not take on by myself, and after exhausting all options, couldn't pay it off. The next con of a debt settlement program is it tanks your credit score. And I'm going to come back to this and explain how that works before I close the video out, but that's the next con. Then, of course, this type of stuff is going to stay on your credit report for, I believe, 7 years. Also, something to consider is that if you go the route of using a debt settlement program, you do have to report it on your taxes. You do have to pay taxes on the amount that the creditors have forgiven. And lastly, having this type of stuff on your credit report can prevent you from being able to get future finances or financing. So car tax has 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I have not done my registration, y'all, but I'm going this Saturday. Before I go out of town, before I put that car on the road, I'm going to get legal. So don't worry, I'm going to take care of it. So now I will get into the pros about using a debt settlement program. So for me, the biggest pro of it all is that you can come out of debt extremely fast. I came out of $40,000, approximately $40,000 worth of credit card debt in about 2.5 years. So you can come out pretty quickly. And also, debt settlement is legal. So it is legal to go through that process in our country and to negotiate with your lenders, your creditors, to see if they will forgive some of what you owe and give you a lesser payment. So personal has 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And lastly, we will talk about what debt settlement program I used and what that process was like. So the debt settlement program that I use is called New Era Debt Solutions. I am not sponsored by this company in any way, shape, or form. I have no affiliate links or anything like that. This is just a company that if you are going to go that route of debt settlement, I highly recommend this company. Emergency has 1200, 5, 10, and 15. I will have the company's website linked down below in the description box if you want to check them out. So the first thing you're going to do is go through an interview process where they are going to pretty much get all up in your financial business. They're going to ask you, what are your assets? What are your income? What amount of debt do you owe? They're going to go through that whole process. If they approve you, which the approval process pretty much looks like, yeah, you owe way more debt than with your current income and assets than you would ever be able to pay off probably in your lifetime. If you continue to pay the minimum payments, you're going to be in debt for forever. So they, of course, accepted me at that place in my life. So giving has 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. So if you are approved, once you are approved, they will begin to negotiate settlements with your creditors on your behalf. So very similar to the other company I couldn't remember that applied for the money on my behalf, this company, New Era, they will negotiate with your creditors on your behalf. And Christmas is going to get a 10 for 50, 70, 90, 100, 110, 120. So once you are approved and they get you set up with them, they're going to give you an account or set you up with an account with their company. And inside this account, as they begin the negotiation process with your creditors and as they get different settlements approved, you have to approve everything. So everything that gets negotiated, after the negotiation process, they send you the paperwork and basically saying this is your new amount that they're willing to settle for. If you approve it, you sign off on it, and then it becomes official. Inside of your account, there's a portal, and in the portal, you'll have basically the progress of you becoming debt free. So they'll have all your creditors listed, what you currently owe, what amount they settled for, so what is your new amount that you have to pay, and then how you're doing on your payment process. So Holidays is going to get $2. So once they become your negotiators essentially and they begin to work on your behalf, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 28. So it's very similar to the debt consolidation loan process, except with the debt consolidation loan, you're going to pay the full amount that you owe, whereas with the debt settlement, you're going to pay the settled amounts that your creditors agree to forgive. So just an example, let's say, and this is a real number, I owed $4,500 to a creditor. I had that on a credit card. After I got with New Era and they negotiated for me on my behalf, my new settlement amount is now $2,000. So instead of having to owe $4,500 to the credit card company, now I just owe $2,000. So that's an example of debt settlement. In car tires, I have 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So New Era is a company that I worked with. Their communication was amazing. They come through with everything they say they're gonna do. It's a completely legit company. I came out of credit card debt, and the amazing thing is you can log in online and see your actual credit report. If you use Credit Karma or something like that, it'll show you on your credit report that the debt that you owed has been settled. This is the settled amount and you paid it. So that will show up on your credit report as you're working with this company to get your debts paid off. So that was what I did to come out of debt. Again, I highly recommend not getting into debt, not getting into that much worth of debt. I also highly recommend, if you can, to pay your debts off in full. Pay what you owe. You know, if somebody owed you money, you would want them to pay it back in full. And I feel like that's how we should, we do unto others as we would want them to do unto us. Unfortunately, life happens and things happen. And if you find yourself in a situation where I'm in over my head, I'm doing everything I can, and I still can't get out of it, there are options. Obviously, bankruptcy is the worst. I would definitely consider debt consolidation loans or a debt settlement program prior to trying to go the bankruptcy route. The company I used, I highly recommend. I recommended them to another family member who also used them and came out of debt as well. If you guys have any questions about my story, about this process, or anything like that, feel free to leave me a comment. Or if you don't want to leave a public comment, you can DM me or you can email me, and I will be more than happy to answer your question or give you guys some more information that could be helpful for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you will hit the like button, and I hope to see you back next week for another video. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.